Do you need a ride?
Oh, thank God. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Just as long as you're not like a serial killer or something. Are you a serial killer?
Would that bother you?
I mean, yeah, kind of. I would prefer not to be serial killed.
Look, you got in my truck.
So that means I should be okay with getting murdered.
You anti-murderers are all the same. You demand your rights to be alive, but you don't stop and think about people on the other side of the aisle. I mean, how do you think I feel? You're denying me from living my truth.
I just don't think that's a valid argument.
Oh, so just because I'm a murderer, suddenly my opinion isn't valid?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
That is so incredibly rude.
Look, I just don't think this applies to serial killers, like, at all.
Can you stop using that term? It's 2021 for fuck's sake. We prefer to be called unlicensed exploratory surgeons. Read a fucking book.
That's insane.
Ooh, I'd love a ride, but I refuse to be stabbed to death in the woods and made into a pair of slippers. Ooh, my life is so important. You make me sick. Get out.
Gladly.
Fucking so rude. All right, guys, we're on the GoPro because I'm letting Kathy use the Lumix for photos. We're up here at St. Mary's Glacier.
Kathy.
Huh? Last time I came here was around this time of year, and I got this photo here. And the conditions were pretty shitty. There was no clouds, but I think I made the best of it. Mostly in post-processing and shit, but conditions are pretty cloudy this time around too, but there's still a lot of leaves on the trees. Once this shitty hike is over with, we'll get to see that. I always forget just how rocky this is. I think we might be in low light territory now too, which is not good for GoPro, because in case you haven't heard, I fucking hate GoPros. If you haven't heard, now you do. Unfortunately, there's no pug in this video, because this is not exactly the most tiny pug friendly. I think he could do it. My other pug did it. But it's also cold, and he's a little baby, and he'd probably be crying the whole time. Like Kathy. We were worried it was gonna rain, and I think it is. So, that sucks. It's snowing, actually. Well, this is turning out to suck quite a few more balls than I would like. Got a couple shots, but it was so much running around trying to keep everything from getting soaked and wondering how much water ingress my bag has gotten that we decided to head back down and hopefully wait it out. There's still a few hours before sunset. We're hoping that it clears up and that the sun comes out at some point, though I'm not entirely sure because where the sun is going to go down is pretty much all gray at this point. We might just have to try again next week because this has been a pretty big failure so far. So, well, that was a monumental fucking failure. We were gonna come back and chill and just wait it out and see what happens, but it doesn't look like it's slowing down, and it's kind of just snowing now instead of the little bit of rain I thought we might get. So we're gonna give up because that's one of the things I'm best at. I don't like getting my cameras wet until I have some sort of deal with manufacturer. Hit me up, Pentax. Pentax. It's still Pentax. Pretty much done.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think we're going to go home and try to come back next week. She's a noob. This is Kathy.
Cat?
This is Kathy. She doesn't like it when I call her Kathy for some reason. But she wants to learn photography, so I figured I'd sort of teach her how to do stuff, and we might as well just film the whole process. Maybe we'll do some post-processing in there too. I don't know. We'll see. This might be a long video. It might be a Jesus Christ, Lumix. You son of a bitch. Just focus on me. I'm the important one here. We'll try again next week. Hopefully the weather will be a little bit better. So I sort of debated putting that first half in because it was such a failure, and these videos don't do as well as some of the others on my channel, but I really don't care, honestly, because I really love doing this too, and I think that part of landscape is just failing. In fact, I think it's probably about 90% of landscape photography is failing, so I wanted to include that too, because we did still have fun, and I still wanted it to be a part of the story of us trying to get some photos up at St. Mary's during the fall. So the few photos I did get, we'll go over now. Unfortunately, I didn't get any video for them because it was mostly running around or just on the side of the road on the way up or down. So I just didn't really have time to pull out the video camera, but I still really liked some of them, so I'm just gonna go ahead and show you anyway. All right, so it's 1 week later. We're back up here. I was really hoping that the foliage would look the same, but I think I knew deep down in the pit of my genitals that it wouldn't be. It's still nice and vibrant, as you can tell, but a lot of the trees have lost all their leaves already, so that's a bit of a bummer. But we're gonna make the most of it. We came up a lot earlier this time. Unfortunately, last week I didn't get a whole lot of B-roll, so I'm trying to supplement that this time around, but I did get one photo right here on this road that I thought was really nice. It was super moody, there was a lot of clouds, and the road was wet, and I threw Cat out in the street to have a human element in there, and I think it turned out really nice. This is our last chance to get some nice fall photos and video and stuff before the end of the season. You might be asking yourself, why would I take you to such a place and not let you see it? And that's because bokeh is always more important than anything. You'll know that if you watch this channel. There's a lot of people here. I'd say too many, but I don't want that to sound like I don't like people. I do, as long as they're nowhere around me. This is a glacier, as I've told you. On the other side, there's a really nice trickling waterfall that I want to go check out. I'll probably do a bunch of long exposures. We don't have light anyway, so I might as well try to make use of all this nice soft light. But it's gonna be really hard to get any good photos with how many people are around right now. So we'll probably have to wait for them to clear out to get any serious photos anyway, unless I start public masturbation. Then they'll clear out real quick. Something I wanted to try today, because why the hell not, is using my phone to take a landscape photo. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to bracket it manually. Well, I'm gonna take a regular one on auto, and then I'm gonna bracket it manually and blend them and see which one looks better. Because phones do a pretty good job with HDR using computational photography, but basically what it does is it takes a whole bunch of burst photos really quickly because the sensor readout is so fast, and then it merges them in real time, and it creates an image where you don't have any blown highlights and you don't have any lost shadows. So I'm gonna try to do that myself because I'm a big boy. We're gonna grab one for the shadows. I'm gonna grab one for the highlights. And the problem with computational stuff is that it applies a ton of sharpening too, which just looks like shit. You can always tell when somebody posts a phone photo because it's always over sharpened as balls. So I'm gonna take the phone's idea of a photo. I'm gonna have to merge mine in Photoshop and we'll see which ones look better. What you doing, Kathy?
Just being a photographer.
Are you?
Totally, I know exactly what I'm doing.
Taking a lot of photos.
Yeah, and the reason for that isn't because I'm...
Bad?
Yeah.
It's okay. You gotta take a lot of photos, you know? I filled up a ton of SD cards when I was starting out. Now I'm a little more refined and
You're
I
a
tend
one shot
to-
and got it.
yeah, pretty much. I don't even have to have my eyes open. I don't even have to have a camera with me to take the best photos.
I've heard the best, you know, like how the best composers are deaf.
Deaf,
I've heard the best photographers are blind.
dead. The best photographers are dead. Yeah. Think about it. I mean, Ansel Adams, you know who that is?
Mm-hmm.
He's dead.
Oh.
It's
But
really
the thing is that the best work that he's making is right now.
Is it? I haven't looked into his work in a while. I wonder if his new books are any good.
It's a little meta, but
Yeah, well, he definitely doesn't shoot digital. He's very analog still. The worms are pretty analog that are eating his corpse. There's so many people here that I'm gonna head over to the waterfall and make use of the soft light. The best thing to shoot when the light's like this is something that you don't want hot spots for. I really hope we get some light. Hey, get back in the truck, come on.
no.
Come on, you can't walk the whole way.
I'd rather walk 100 feet than get back in your truck.
Come on, you're being ridiculous. Just let me give you a ride and I'll make a nice skin suit out of you with you.
No.
Come on, it's dangerous out here.
Seriously? You're a fucking murderer.
At least I don't tell random girls I see to smile.
No, I'd almost rather have that than get back in the truck with you.
Come on, this is ridiculous. You're walking out here alone, all alive and shit. You fucking siren. Fine, I hope you get a blister. So I've been chilling here for a couple minutes waiting, just seeing what happens with these clouds, and it looks like Mount Evans, with its first snowfall of the year or of the season, is starting to come through, and it's really nice because it contrasts with the blue mountains around it. I just really gotta hope that some of this cloud goes away a little bit more. If we can get a strip of light like that over behind Mount Evans, then it'll really pop out. I've been running around just getting photos with the waterfall. None of them have really turned out how I want them to. Still been waiting for this to happen, which is the mountain finally coming out. That's Mount Evans, and it's looking amazing because nothing else up there has snow on it except for it. It's a 14er, so it gets the first snow, generally speaking. But I think I finally found a good composition here. It's still a little messy with all these rocks over here, but I think that'll still work. Finally, I got some balance. I think that was what was missing from the photos down there. I'm using this rock now as a left balance because over here we have so much hill compared to the left side. So I'm back on the 20 mil And we're using that as a foreground with all these shitty rocks over here. But the lake looks lovely. There's finally some nice definition in the clouds and a bunch of boner-tastic light on Mount Evans. I'm hoping I don't get a boner out here in the woods, because is a boner in the woods okay, or is that like
Mountain law.
mountain boners? Mountain law, apparently. She's a mountain lawyer, so out in the woods boners are okay. What about masturbation of those boners?
Depends how high in the mountain you are.
Oh, okay, so like if you're on a 14er, totally jerk off? Okay. Where do you jizz?
Down.
Down? Okay. I don't fucking know. I'm not a mountain lawyer. What the fuck? Why would I know that? I'm just
Actually,
a fucking person.
It's actually upwind.
Oh, you jizz, oh, upwind. I was thinking like gravity.
Yeah, no, upwind.
Like, should you jerk off over the side of the mountain, or like on the peak
It's like
in the
hunting
mountain?
permits, you know? Like, do you want to, like, do you need to understand every reason why?
No, I mean, I guess
Get so
not.
many?
But I am curious. I mean, is that a fucking crime? Mountain curious. But anyway, enough boner talk for 5 minutes or so. I think this shot will work out for me. Fuck. On the way down, I just ate a little bit of shit. Not enough to really taste it. It was more like a quick swallow before the taste buds really take over. But this shit is kind of fucked. It's a little sketchy. But I think we're done. And we got a couple pugs that are probably still crying, so, or banging each other. That is definitely a possibility and a likelihood, to be honest. It's pretty nice up here. I'm glad there was still some foliage. We won't see this again for another year, so. Yeah. Go f yourselves, I guess.
Well, that was a rude outro. I know this was a long video, and if you made it this far, I really appreciate it. And just to let me know if you made it this far, go ahead and type "you're a pecker" in the comments so I know who my real viewers are. Either way, thanks for watching. It's about that time for winter, so from now on, it'll probably mostly be street videos. And on the rare occasion that I can, I'll still get out into nature. Winter Street is so much fun. So I'll see you guys in the next one.